I know this isn't art related, but I've been spending a lot of time getting to know Marvel Rivals, and I just wanted to talk about it. I needed to talk about it. For anyone who does want a bit of my artistic insight into the art style and character designs of Marvel Rivals, you can skip to this timestamp and I'll go over that. It feels like almost everyone that I see online or I meet has played Marvel Rivals for months at this point, probably since the beginning, and I've been looking around for more beginner-friendly guides and stuff like that, and I can't find anything that actually felt beginner-friendly from relatively recently. So I wanted to sort of just share some of my thoughts for anyone who's new or is wondering what the fuck is Marvel Rivals. I'm definitely no expert. I've only been playing for about a week, but I figured I would give some of my insight as a new player. I used to play a lot of Paladins. That was kind of where I started. Obviously that has since, I think, shut down. I don't even remember actually, but nobody plays that game anymore, and so I've been looking for another game to play in between all of my art stuff. I'm already a Marvel fan. I've seen almost everything that the MCU's released, and I read comics occasionally, so I figured, why not try it, right? The first hero that I really gravitated to was Mantis. I know that she's kind of ragged on by the community a bit as one of the worst healers, but I really like her. To be honest, the first thing that caught my eye was her design. I think she's probably my favorite in the game. All of the accessories and the way that her powers work. It was super easy and super appealing. I didn't need amazing aim. And speaking of not needing amazing aim, I also started on Scarlet Witch, who auto-locks almost all of her attacks, so it's very convenient for me. It took me a while to get into tanks, but now I main Strange because his shield is so big and I feel useful being able to use it. Also, using those portals is really fun. I did try Spider-Man because he's my favorite superhero, but I don't think that I have the brain capacity to follow all of those quick movements. It's just too much for my brain. And eventually I did kind of move away from the heroes that I talked about just now, but I'll get back into that. The game modes are not complicated. I meant not complicated. There's the classic push the cart game mode. There's some, what is it called, domination, where you try to capture 3 different points and best of 2 wins, and there's a few other point capturing sort of things. To be honest, I don't think that it matters too much. I went through all of the tutorials right when I started to make sure that I kind of understood everything, but I don't think it's really that necessary. I think as long as you play with your team, you'll be fine. I did try ranked. I've never actually played competitively in any game before, and it was super intimidating to start ranked. I was really nervous about it, and I don't have anyone to play with, so I kind of just tried a few rounds. It's really intense. Maybe it's because I started playing at the start of the season, at the start of season 4, well, the end of 3.5, but really the start of 4 was when I tried ranked, and everybody was at bronze 3. I think if you're new and you don't have a lot of experience with games, I would avoid ranked entirely. 1, because it's really intense and people take it really seriously, and 2, because it's kind of a bad way to start your entry into the community. And about the community, I've been in the subreddits, I've been in Discords, and I've also been on Rivals TikTok. I think there's a really weird kind of not double standard, but there's 2 sides to this. There's the, what you'd expect from a normal gaming community, but there's also a very strong sort of counter movement. I see a lot of positivity, at least coming from a lot of the support TikToks, as in people who main support class. I see a lot of positivity coming from there, and that's what I main. So I like to see it, and it makes me really happy. And I appreciate that even though there's a lot of hating going on, there is a lot of support for a good attitude. If you're nice to people, for the most part, obviously there's going to be bad eggs. I've gotten dogged on for sucking when I started, and I felt really bad, but I was just starting. I think that some members of the community, maybe who've been playing for longer, sort of forget that there are new people playing, especially in quick play. It's not competitive. We can stay chill, guys. I'm also throwing into this section that there is a lot of Marvel Rivals slang that I just don't understand. What is an EOMM demon? I've googled it, I've asked around. I genuinely don't think I understand the concept or what it's implying. I still haven't gotten used to the role names, and I don't understand why some are throw picks, as if you choose a character and you lose the game you're trying to lose by choosing a character. I don't know, I don't really get it. It also took me an embarrassingly long amount of time to figure out that CND was cloak and dagger. That was kind of embarrassing. I'm pausing really quick to say that I have a Draw This in Your Style open and I have commissions open. All of that information is going to be in the description. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Okay, goodbye. But I think that for the most part, there is a very strong counter movement against the negativity, and towards like a positive community. People don't want to be like the typical video game communities. So I really like it and I think it's really cool. There's a lot of fun content around Rivals, and I also like that there's enough obscure heroes that I don't know about that I actually get to learn about them through playing or through other players who do know more about them. I think it's pretty fun, and I think that there's a lot of reward for getting to know the game. You play more heroes, you get used to how the game works, and it seems really overwhelming. At least it did for me when I started, but as I got the hang of more and more heroes and more of the maps and systems, I kind of got the hang of it, and I feel really good about it. It's a really rewarding feeling to be able to say that you understand what's going on in one of those crazy fights. And before I close this off, I just wanted to kind of brag about my favorite heroes. Not brag, but just ramble a bit about my favorite heroes and why I like them so much. I'll start with Mantis. She's my favorite healer. She's the most easy. She has really great crowd control with her sleep bomb, though I wish it lasted a bit longer. And her healing does not require any aim, which makes it very easy for me to properly help my team out as a new player. So if you're new and looking for a quick, easy intro into support class, I would definitely recommend her. I've also been trying Luna Snow. She's the community has seemed to convince me that she's the best option for healer if I'm going to choose one, so I've been trying to get better. Her aim is very difficult, but I'm trying. I've also been playing a lot of Doctor Strange. I've gotten a bit better about it. People started calling me a bot for just keeping my shield up, so I had to get a bit more tactical with using the tools at my disposal. There's still a few things that I don't know about him, as I've never actually been a tank main, and so I don't know much about how that stuff works, but I'm getting used to it, and I'm asking around, and people are really nice about answering questions and whatnot. And finally, I've been maining Moon Knight as my DPS. I moved away from Scarlet Witch because even though I really like her, I was getting a bit frustrated with the speed of her attacks. The thing I like about Moon Knight is that all of his attacks bounce off of each other, so as long as you aim at one central figure or any groups of people, you're pretty much good in terms of getting a lot of damage and getting a lot of kills. There's a lot of crazy DPS going on, and it's definitely a bit overwhelming for me. I haven't even played them all, but I'm trying to get into it. I'm trying to get good at a few characters before I start really experimenting with the rest of them. I think there's a lot of really great characters, and anyone who just wants to experiment should feel free to. There's also like different kinds of practice matches and arcade play that you can kind of just casually learn in, and there is like a practice arena for you, like for yourself, and you can go and test out heroes there. I didn't know that at first, and I kind of just went into quick play blind, so I hope that anyone who's like getting into it, definitely go to the practice range. It's for sure worth it. I also wanted to briefly talk about some of the things that I really like about the character designs. First of all, I love the shape language that's used across the various different heroes. I think it's super cool how all of their distinct characteristics are really exaggerated to fit whatever class they're in, and I know that that's kind of a basic thing, but Marvel Rivals is different because you're taking inspiration from designs and characters that exist in multiple different forms of media, be it IRL movies or comics or other video games or Lego. I think that it's really cool to look at how they chose to add or take away from certain elements of their existing designs. For characters like Moon Knight, for example, his other comic forms are much more down to earth, but his Marvel Rivals skin is much more robotic. It has a lot more armor pieces and looks a lot more high tech. I think it works really well for him. I really like how it looks. They do something similar with Mantis, not in the tech scene, but they add a lot of these like nature motifs to Mantis's design to really play up her connection with life and with emotion and with others. I actually did take a bit of time to study some of these designs, and their color palettes are really cohesive and really nice. I think it's really impressive to be able to take both a cast of really popular characters and a cast of less popular characters and mesh them all into different roles that really match their characters well, not just the game design, but they feel very true to form. I think if you have a character that's in the game, you will be happy with the way that they're presented. And even so, I know that there's a lot of controversy with certain heroes. Honestly, I think it just adds to the fun. The Marvel Rivals universe is a different universe. It has its own comic series. You can kind of take more liberties with who has powers and who doesn't. And you have to find ways to balance all of these characters out as well. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to ramble a little bit. I know that this wasn't too cohesive of a video, but I hope that anyone who's either a fan of the games or is just stopping by because they're curious could find something to enjoy about this. I know that this is a departure from my usual content, but I had a lot of fun making this, and I've had a lot of fun playing Marvel Rivals, so hopefully I can find a better crossroads to continue making Marvel content, or honestly whatever content, and just mix it up with art so it doesn't feel too separate from my channel. I'm just like yapping. I know that I'm just like blah 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 blah. Cell's just saying shit. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.